And so ever since the English Revolution, the German royals and the German Jewish bankers have had a close relationship, particularly in Britain, and Waddesdon is a classic example of that.
Waddesdon is a phenomenon in lots of ways. I mean, who would expect to find a French chateau in the middle of the English countryside? And it's very much the vision of one man, Baron Ferdinand de Rothschild, who acquired the estate in 1874 and set about creating a place in the country where he could bring friends and family to entertain them at weekends. And so Waddesdon really sprung from that. But he chose Buckinghamshire because he knew the county very well. Other members of his family had already started to build the most extraordinary houses in the vicinity. In fact, Buckinghamshire was often referred to as Rothschildshire in the 19th century because so many members of the family lived here.
It was an extraordinary phenomenon because the Rothschild family, having made a lot of money in the 19th century and having come from the ghetto in Frankfurt with nothing, decided to build on a huge scale throughout Europe. Most of those houses have now gone. Waddesdon remains as the one with its collections intact, in fact growing.
And out of the two world wars came the Bolshevik Revolution and the control of Russia by the Jews, and also the establishment of the State of Israel in Palestine. And of course the Germanness of the royal families was a real problem during World War I and World War II.
Buckingham Palace is slamming newly released footage showing the Queen giving a Nazi salute. The black and white film was taken more than 80 years ago, but has just been published by a British tabloid newspaper. The palace says the footage is misleading, but the Sun newspaper is unrepentant. Rachel Parkin reports.
At 89, Queen Elizabeth probably thought she was safe from scandal, until this mothballed footage released by The Sun that appears to show her aged about 7, mimicking a Nazi salute. That family in the home movie, her mother, younger sister Margaret and uncle Prince Edward, a man notorious for his right-wing sympathies. After abdicating in 1937, Edward travelled to Germany with wife Wallis Simpson, visiting Hitler at his mountain retreat. And although no Nazi salutes are seen here, swastikas and portraits of the Führer abound. That was a controversial trip, and release of the latest pictures has reportedly disappointed Buckingham Palace, a source saying they must be taken in the context of the time. No one at that time had any sense how it would evolve, they said. To imply anything else is misleading and dishonest. And then there's the curly question of how it got out.
It is possible that it came from Edward VIII's estate, the king who abdicated. When he did, he became a private individual, and much of his property may have become accessible to the public.
It's not the first time the royal family's fallen foul of Nazi symbolism. Prince Harry hit the headlines in 2005 when he wore a German uniform to a costume party. Controversy he never would have predicted his grandmother would be dealing with, though, 10 years later.